Rainwater harvesting.
Rainwater harvesting is the accumulation and deposition of rainwater for reuse before it reaches the aquifer. Uses include water for garden, water for livestock, water for irrigation, and indoor heating for houses, etc. In many places the water collected is just redirected to a deep pit with percolation. The harvested water can be used as drinking water as well as for storage and other purpose like irrigation.
Advantages.
Rainwater harvesting provides an independent water supply during regional water restrictions and in developed countries is often used to supplement the main supply. It provides water when there is a drought, can help mitigate flooding of low-lying areas, and reduces demand on wells which may enable groundwater levels to be sustained. It also helps in the availability of potable water as rainwater is substantially free of salinity and other salts.
Quality.
The concentration of contaminants is reduced significantly by diverting the initial flow of runoff water to waste. Improved water quality can also be obtained by using a floating draw-off mechanism, rather than from the base of the tank, and by using a series of tanks, withdraw from the last in series. The stored rainwater may need to be analyzed properly before use in a way appropriate to ensure its safe use. The quality of collected rainwater is generally better than that of surface water. Contamination is always possible by airborne dust and mists, bird feces, and other debris, so some treatment may be necessary, depending on how the water will be used.
System setup.
Rainwater harvesting systems can be installed with minimal skills. The system should be sized to meet the water demand throughout the dry season since it must be big enough to support daily water consumption. Specifically, the rainfall capturing area such as a building roof must be large enough to maintain adequate flow. The water storage tank size should be large enough to contain the captured water.
Rainwater harvesting by freshwater flooded forests.
Rainwater harvesting is possible by growing freshwater flooded forests without losing the income from the use/submerged land. The main purpose of the rainwater harvesting is to utilize the locally available rainwater to meet water requirements throughout the year without the need of huge capital expenditure. This would facilitate availability of uncontaminated water for domestic, industrial and irrigation needs.
New approaches.
Instead of using the roof for catchment, the rain saucer, which looks like an upside-down umbrella, collects rain straight from the sky. This decreases the potential for contamination and makes potable water for developing countries a potential application. Other applications of this freestanding rainwater collection approach are sustainable gardening and small plot farming. A Dutch invention called the Grusis water bogs is also useful for growing trees with harvested and stored dew and rainwater.
History. Earlier.
Around the 3rd century BC, the farming communities in Balochistan, in present-day Pakistan, Afghanistan and Iran, and Kutch, in present-day India, used rainwater harvesting for irrigation. In ancient Tamil Nadu, India, rainwater harvesting was done by Kola kings. Rainwater from the Bridesara temple was collected in Shiva Ganga tank. During the later Kola period, the Viranam tank was built, 1011 to 1037 CE, in Cuddalore district of Tamil Nadu to store water for drinking and irrigation purposes. Viranam is a 16-kilometer, 9.9 miles, long tank with a storage capacity of 1,465,000,000 cubic feet, 41,500,000 m3. Rainwater harvesting was done in the Indian states of Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Chhattisgarh in the olden days. Ratanpur, in the state of Chhattisgarh, had around 150 ponds. Most of the tanks or ponds were utilized in agriculture works.
Present day.
Currently in China and Brazil rooftop rainwater harvesting is being practiced for providing drinking water, domestic water, water for livestock, water for small irrigation and a way to replenish groundwater levels. Gansu Province in China and semi-arid northeast Brazil have the largest rooftop rainwater harvesting projects ongoing. In Bermuda, the law requires all new construction to include rainwater harvesting adequate for the residents. The U.S. Virgin Islands have a similar law. In Senegal and Guinea-Bissau, the houses of the Diola people are frequently equipped with homebrew rainwater harvesters made from local, organic materials. In the Irrawaddy Delta of Myanmar, the groundwater is saline and communities rely on mud-lined rainwater ponds to meet their drinking water needs throughout the dry season. Some of these ponds are centuries old and are treated with great reverence and respect. In the United States, until 2009 in Colorado, water rights laws almost completely restricted rainwater harvesting. A property owner who captured rainwater was deemed to be stealing it from those who have rights to take water from the watershed. Now, residential well owners that meet certain criteria may obtain a permit to install a rooftop precipitation collection system, SBO 9-080. Up to 10 large-scale pilot studies may also be permitted, HBO 9-1129. The main factor in persuading the Colorado legislature to change the law was a 2007 study that found that in an average year, 97% of the precipitation that fell in Douglas County, in the southern suburbs of Denver, never reached a stream. It was used by plants or evaporated on the ground. In Colorado you cannot even drill a water well unless you have at least 35 acres. In New Mexico, rainwater catchment is mandatory for new dwellings in Santa Fe. Texas offers a sales tax exemption on the purchase of rainwater harvesting equipment. Both Texas and Ohio allow the practice even for potable purposes. Oklahoma passed the Water for 2060 Act in 2012, to promote pilot projects for rainwater and gray water use among other water-saving techniques. In Beijing, some housing societies are now adding rainwater in their main water sources after proper treatment. In Ireland, Professor Mike Heal-McGinley established a project to design a rainwater harvesting prototype in the Biosystems Design Challenge module at University College Dublin.
India.
In the state of Tamil Nadu, rainwater harvesting was made compulsory for every building to avoid groundwater depletion. It proved excellent results within 5 years, and every state took it as role model. Since its implementation, Chennai saw a 50% rise in water level in 5 years and the water quality significantly improved. In Rajasthan, rainwater harvesting has traditionally been practiced by the people of the Thar Desert. There are many ancient water harvesting systems in Rajasthan, which have now been revived. Water harvesting systems are widely used in other areas of Rajasthan as well, for example the Chalka system from the Jaipur district, Kerala. Main article, Rainwater harvesting in Kerala. At present, in Pune, in Maharashtra, rainwater harvesting is compulsory for any new society to be registered. An attempt has been made at Department of Chemical Engineering, ISC, Bangalore to harvest rainwater using upper surface of a solar still, which was used for water distillation.
Sri Lanka.
Rainwater harvesting has been a popular method of obtaining water for agriculture and for drinking purposes in rural homes. The legislation to promote rainwater harvesting was enacted through the Urban Development Authority, Amendment, Act, No. 36 of 2007. Lanka Rainwater Harvesting Forum is leading the Sri Lanka's initiative.
United Kingdom.
In the United Kingdom, water butts are often found in domestic gardens to collect rainwater, which is then used to water the garden. However, the British government's Code for Sustainable Homes encourages fitting large underground tanks to new-built homes to collect rainwater for flushing toilets, washing clothes, watering the garden, and washing cars. This reduces by 50% the amount of mains water used by the home.
Israel.
The Southwest Center for the Study of Hospital and Healthcare Systems in cooperation with Rotary International is sponsoring a rainwater harvesting model program across the country. The first rainwater catchment system was installed at an elementary school in Lod, Israel. The problem is looking to expand to Haifa in its third phase. The Southwest Center has also partnered with the Water Resources Action Project, RAP, of Washington, D.C. RAP currently has rainwater harvesting projects in the West Bank, Rainwater harvesting systems are being installed in local schools for the purpose of educating schoolchildren about water conservation principles and bridging divides between people of different religious and ethnic backgrounds, all while addressing the water scarcity issue that the Middle East faces.
Non-traditional.
In 2012, American artist Michael Jones McKean created an artwork in Omaha, Nebraska at the Bemer Center for Contemporary Art that created a fully sustainable rainbow in the Omaha skyline. The project collected thousands of gallons of rainwater, storing the water in 6, daisy-chained 12,000 gallons tanks. The massive logistical undertaking, during its 5-month span, was one of the largest urban rainwater harvesting sites in the Americas.